Hey, welcome everybody to the week ending report for February 2nd, 2024, already through the first month of the year, moving fast, not surprising. Let's get right into it. Jobless claims, those filing for employment, the initial for the first time up 9,000 week over week and continuing up a whopping 70,000. So that was a really big change up week over week. Mortgage applications did slow down for purchases, down 11%, but refinances ticked up 2%. So this question being, does this speak to people cashing out, maybe paying off some debt? Hard to say what that money was, what those refinances specifically were. I know that I am doing cash out refinances at this point to consolidate debt for people, and it's doing a world of a good for those people. So if you're interested in something like that and evaluating your situation, feel free to reach out. Let's get into a few slides here. Let's talk about appreciation. Have the numbers for November showing that, again, appreciation continues to improve month over month across the board. We are now on an annualized pace for the year of 2023 at 7%. And that's really good because there are a lot of naysayers out there saying that the market was going to crash, home values were going to come down. And as long as the demand continues to exceed the inventory, and there's no suggestion that that is going to change, that will continue to support home prices. Also this week, we had some information on company layoffs. This week was the jobs report. So we got ADP and BLS, but this came from, the Challenger job cuts showing that up 80,000. That's the highest since 2009. So we are hearing a lot about companies making cuts. They were trying to retain employees by basically changing up their positions, changing up their hours, and it led to some quiet, it was basically called silent quitting. So it was a way for employers to get employees to leave without actually firing them. So kind of sneaky. But we are seeing more companies saying that they are intending to lay off, and Google even saying that, they've got just over 1,000 layoffs, but expect more. So if we talk about the jobs reports this week, ADP came out earlier this week. They had 107,000 job creations versus the expectations of 150,000. So this is a pretty mild response to that earlier this week. Kind of what we expected. No surprises on that one. But then we got the BLS report today. This showing that there were 353,000 job creations versus 180,000 in the estimate. So again, blew the number out of the water. Been very unfortunate for the MBS market today. I'll show you those numbers in a little bit. But what's important to note, this did happen last year in January as well, because in January they have non-seasonal adjustments for that work that was in December. So those people who took on seasonal work now no longer a factor. So those numbers weigh heavy into the jobs reports when we get those in January. So as we move into February and March, we'll see those numbers come down relative to what our expectations are, I believe. So we'll update you next month on that. But what's important within this report that doesn't ever get highlighted or spoken of in the media is, if you look, average hourly earnings showed that they were up 0.6%. You would think fantastic, right? But the average weekly hours worked fell. So it went from 34.3 to 34.1. So what this effectively did was negate the job earnings, any gains. So even though people made more, they worked less hours. So the weekly average earnings were flat. There were no change. So might be great if you get a job, a pay raise, but if you're not working the same amount of hours or more, you're not bringing more money home. So just really important to note that out, or to point that out rather. So let's take a look at the MBS charts, because today's been a brutal day thanks to the BLS report. And I think hopefully as people dig through this report throughout the day, maybe we'll see some improvement in the MBS charts. But we are down 43 basis points right now. Every gain that we made over the last week is gone. So that will translate to higher interest rates today. But that is all a function of the BLS report and the fact that report given probably a little too much credit for job creations and pointing out that the economy is really good when maybe it's not as strong as we think when you break down some of the numbers. If you have any questions for me, please do reach out to me. I do appreciate when you like my videos. You are welcome to share them with anybody who might be interested in a purchase or a refinance. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.